The only way that you can fail is if you give up. What is up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. If you are new here, I make fitness, wellness, and lifestyle content trying to prove to the world that no matter who you are capable of achieving your goals. And if you're not new here, welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to be talking about the top 5 reasons that you might be failing on your fitness journey. And I say failing in like quotation marks because chances are you're not failing, you just feel like you are. And I'm going to talk about why and potentially how to overcome that. But before I dive in, a little bit of a life update for you all. First of all, I'm in my headband era. Nobody judge me. I look like a bit of a nugget, but I'm kind of all for it. And it also is covering up some of my pimples. Second of all, I'm still very much on my running journey. It is my pre-marathon training block. If you're new here, I just gotten a running coach who is amazing. And yeah, we are pretty much in that like pre-season prep before, I'd say the end of December, which is fast approaching before we start my marathon training block for London Marathon in April 2024. So it's all kicking along nicely. I'm actually gonna go do a interval training run when I finish recording, which I'm not really looking forward to purely because I trained legs yesterday and my lower body is aching, to be honest. I didn't get to train lower body last week just with like everything that was going on with work and like this Christmas party and just all these little things. So not really looking forward to it because I'm feeling a bit sore, but it's fine, we're gonna get it done. Second of all, I'm gonna do a little shout out to my podcast that I host with my good friend Ella, the Just Can't Hack It podcast. We have an awesome episode coming out on Friday. We interviewed my dietitian Alice Bleethman, who is just such a legend. We talk about so much good stuff, diet culture, the importance of having a good relationship with food, the importance of gut health and the complexity around gut health. Just honestly just so much stuff, and it's such a great interview that I would highly recommend you check it out. It will be out on Friday, which is a day after this video goes live. Anyway, enough of that. Let's just dive in. So if you're watching this video, you might have come to watch because you do feel like you're failing on your fitness journey. The first reason you might feel like you're failing is you're setting an unachievable or unrealistic goal for yourself. What I mean by that is you might be new to your fitness journey, you might be new to a fitness goal. Like for example, you might be starting out trying to lose weight, or you might be getting into a new sport, you might be getting into running, whatever it might be, you might be new to your goal and then setting yourself a goal that's really unachievable. Let's use an example. So for me, when I started out running, I was watching people doing the London Marathon last year. Granted, that was my inspiration and that's what got me into running. And yes, my goal now is to do the marathon next year. But my goal at the time wasn't, okay, I've just seen someone run a marathon, I'm gonna go run a marathon. It was setting small achievable goals and starting out with the smallest steps. So I'm gonna start going for runs. I'm gonna try and do a 5K. Like 5K is gonna be my goal and I'm gonna work towards that. While it's good to have a really great goal, I'm not saying don't have goals. I think having a goal is super important. Just make sure that your goal is something that's actually achievable for you. Start off small. If weight loss is your goal, start taking healthier steps. Maybe start going on extra walks, start cutting out some of the alcohol, just start taking really achievable steps. And the other thing I wanna say about this as well is if you are someone who's embarking on something that's quite big and quite new to you, I would highly recommend actually getting a coach or seeing a nutritionist or a dietitian to help you along the way, because often people want to just see things straight away and they can dive down all these rabbit holes and start making the wrong decisions because they aren't well educated, and there's a lot of bullshit nonsense floating around the internet that makes people want to do crazy things. So don't do that. And also on this path as well, if you're working shift work, 9 to 5s or working long hours or whatever it may be, you also need to make sure that you're following something that is realistic for your schedule. And what I mean by that is, like when I was working corporate, I physically did not have the time to spend hours and hours working out a day. I gave myself an hour in the morning and that was it. What you need to do is find a plan that is gonna work in line with your schedule. The second reason that you might be like failing on your fitness journey is you're comparing yourself too much to other people. It's very easy in today's society on social media to look at someone else and then start to compare yourself. Like it's super natural, we all do it. But the problem with doing that too much is if you look at that fitness influencer who's been working out for years, or you know, someone who's been powerlifting for ages, who's been strength training for years and has got so much muscle mass, you instantly start comparing yourself when you guys are completely different. Whilst it's great to take inspiration from people, I think you've got to really be careful of what you're consuming. So if you are falling into that habit of like, okay, I want to look like this person, I would actually limit how much of their content that you're seeing because you keep comparing yourself to them. And that's why I find the before and after shots that people post kind of really toxic, and also the mindful of that I've done this as well, but the what I eat in a day. And that's why when I do it, I try not to put in my calories and things like that, because you can't compare what you're doing with what someone else is doing, because everyone is completely different. How people train, how people eat, everyone is so different. So you shouldn't be comparing what you look like and where you are on your journey with someone else. Now, the third reason that you might feel like you're failing, and I'm gonna keep doing the L little quote, is you're focusing on one set data point. And what I mean by that is that I'm gonna use, if your fitness journey is around weight loss, I'm gonna use the example of the scale. So if you're on a fitness journey with the goal being primarily weight loss, if you're focusing so heavily on what the scale says, you're completely ignoring all the other data. And what data I mean is how you feel. Do you have more energy? Are you happier? Are you sleeping better? There are so many points that can contribute to your weight loss journey. And I'm not saying throw the scale out, although in some cases I don't think the scale is super beneficial to everybody. But if you're getting so fixated on that number on the scale that it is getting you down well too much, or you're so focused on that's the only thing that matters, that's probably more detrimental to your fitness journey than anything else. So many things impact that scale weight. Like, particularly for a female, our hormones go all through the roof on your cycle, whether you've had a salty meal late at night, whether you're retaining a little bit more water, whether you're stressed, like so many things can impact the scale weight, including if you've done a poop beforehand. It should not be your fixed data point because there's just so many things that can impact it. So whilst the scale can be helpful, my takeaway from that is just please don't rely on it to be the be all and end all. There is definitely other things that you can be considering, such as how you're feeling, how your clothes are fitting, your mood, your energy, just all these other data points that need to be taken into consideration. All right, my fourth reason that people think they might be failing on their fitness journey is that they are letting the small bumps in the road get them down to the point where they just feel like they need to give up. Let's say, again, let's using weight loss as the goal. How many of us, you're doing really well Monday to Friday because you're in your routine, you're going to work, you're packing your snacks, you're pre-cooking your breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever it may be. But then Saturday rolls around and it's your best friend's birthday. You have a few drinks, you have a bigger meal. How many times do we go, I've blown my diet today, I may as well just have a crappy Sunday and I'll get back to it on Monday. It is okay to go out on a Saturday, eat a little bit more food, and then just jump straight back into your routine on Sunday. I think so many people let one little slip up just derail them. And they go, oh, well, I've blown it now. So I'll wait for a few more days. I may as well just, do whatever it may be. And it can go in reverse as well. People can go, oh crap, like now I need to go run a mile because I've done X, Y, Z. Like, relax. It's okay. It's okay to have those little slips. It's absolutely fine. And in fact, when you've got your bestie's birthday on the weekend, you're there to have a good time. You shouldn't be freaking focused that intently on not having a meal with your friends. Anyway, that's not the point. My point is, if you are doing those little things and letting those small bumps get in the way, just remember it is okay to just get back on track the next day. You don't have to let it affect you to the point where you're gonna wait a few days and say, oh, I'm gonna wait till Monday to get back on track. Now, this leads into my fifth and final reason why people think they're failing on their fitness journey. We are all conditioned for instant gratification. We all want things overnight. When we don't see progress really quickly, we all have a tendency to just throw in the towel and give up completely. Progress takes time. Things don't happen overnight. If you're on your fitness journey and you've been doing it for like a week or 2 weeks and you're not seeing progress, it's been a week or 2 weeks. A lot of the people that we look to for inspiration have been doing this for years. And there's a really beautiful quote: the only way that you can fail is if you give up. So when you're thinking about if you have failed, have you actually, or are you just being a little bit impatient and not really giving yourself enough time to start to see your progress pay off? The last thing I want to say to you, if you are feeling a little bit discouraged at the moment, or you've had a little hiccup in the road, I just want to tell you to keep going. Like, you are doing so amazing, and you should be so proud of yourself for having a fitness goal. Honestly, it's hard work, okay? Like, it's not easy achieving things. If it's weight loss, if it's running, if it's tackling a new sport, like none of this stuff is easy, right? It is very normal and common to feel like you can be failing. Chances are you're not failing, you just have maybe one of those things that we spoke about, getting a bit discouraged by the data, the pizza on the weekend, or you're just not being patient enough with yourself, okay? Like, you are doing so amazing, so you should be incredibly proud of yourself. All right, guys, that wraps up this week's video. It is a short one this week, but just, again, a little pep talk for reasons that you feel like you might be failing, but you're probably not, and how you can work through them. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to the channel. Remember, we do all the things together here, and I'll see you on the next video.